Hey y'all, welcome back to another doll ranking video. Today we are going to continue on the task of tackling all of the Ever After High dolls. So I already did part 1, and now we are on part 2 of ranking all of the Ever After High dolls that there are. And I said in my first video that I thought this was going to be 3 parts. I'm kind of thinking it might be 4 now. Like, I kind of underestimated how many dolls there were. That's my bad, but we are doing part 2 today. Unlike the Monster High doll rankings that I did, I'm not going by character just because I'm a lot less familiar with Ever After High, and they have a lot more characters that don't have enough to, like, really dedicate a whole video to. So I'm literally just going down a database list of all of the dolls and then ranking them. So a little bit different than some of my other ones, a little bit more chaotic maybe, but we're going to try to have fun today. As always, this is just my opinion in this video, like it's not anything personal if we disagree. We just have different thoughts on different dolls, and I am basing all of this off of just the designs of the dolls. I'm not someone who ever collected them when I was younger, and I've never seen the show or anything like that, so kind of flying a little bit more blind here, but it's all in good fun, so hopefully this will be another entertaining one for you guys. If you do find yourself enjoying, if you could give the video a like, that's super helpful to me. And if you're new here and you enjoy your time, definitely subscribe so you can see more. But with that out of the way, we have a lot of dolls to get through today, so let's go ahead and start ranking. Okay, so quick recap if you didn't see part 1. I do all of my rankings in Procreate, and for the Ever After High rankings, we are going with the tiers being kind of themed towards that. So we've got Queen, Princess, Lord, Commoner, Peasant, and Banished. These are all of the dolls that I covered in the first part of the ranking, so you can kind of see here if you didn't watch that, or if you just need a refresher, this is where we left off. I'm gonna definitely do part 2 on like the same image and everything. I might have to reset for part 3, because I feel like we might be getting a little thin on space here. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get started with Legacy Day Maddie. She's one that I missed in the first one. I just was really bad at scrolling through the database. I don't know. So there's a couple dolls on here that should have been in the first part that I missed. They should all be in this part now. So I think that I've got it okay. I'm really trying not to accidentally skip any dolls. So Legacy Day Maddie. I really love the fabrics. I think the overall design is really pretty. Like, I think there's a lot of nice detail in here. I have this problem with a few Maddie Hatter dolls. I feel like their heads look so much bigger than any other Ever After High doll. And like, Ever After High dolls already have very large, very rotund face shapes. But tell me that Maddie's head does not look absolutely enormous in this photo. Like, is it just me? I feel like it can't just be me. And it's very distracting. Like, I know that dolls are dolls and they don't have to have realistic proportions, and I love plenty of dolls that have like much bigger heads like compared to their body. I think it's just the combination of it appearing to be very large and also it's literally a circle. That sounds so mean. We're not starting off super. It's very distracting. Like, the rest of her design is so lovely, but I'm having trouble dealing with it because it's just hard for me to focus on anything else. I think I'm still gonna put her in Lord because, like, it is a good design. It's just a lot. Okay, then we have Hat-tastic Tea Party Apple White. I don't know how to feel about this one. I like the shoes and like the tiny little ankle socks she's got going on. That's cute. I actually do like the streaks of red in Apple's hair. I think that that's very pretty on her. It's just like a little different, a little bit fun. I don't love the dress. There's nothing really wrong with the top half, but I just really don't like the bottom half. I don't know. Like, there's definitely good things about it, but I'm just not feeling super, so she's going to pop down into Commoner. I did say in part 1 that as we go along, I think that these rankings are going to get a lot meaner, so I'm sorry to any, like, hardcore Ever After High fans out there. Okay, Hat-tastic Briar, I don't like. That's it. That was the end of the sentence. I said before, I get Briar's color scheme. Like, I understand that it's probably very appealing for some people, but I just don't really like it. And I don't like this outfit. The only thing she's got going for her, to me, is the shoes and the fishnets. And that's it. And that's simply not enough. So she's going to go down into Peasant. Continuing on with the Hat-tastic Tea Party line, this is Cedar Woods. And I like this more than I liked her core doll. Because her core doll had like these suspender things going on that I felt just were good as an idea, but they weren't very well executed. I think this is better. I think that her shoes, she also doesn't have like the weird socks. She's got like a better look on the shoes and socks portion. She's still got the super cool body sculpt. And then I like this top for her. I'm still not, like, obsessed with the skirt, but I think this is cute. And I like her little hat that she's got on her headband. I'm trying to see where I ranked her before. Okay, so I put her in Commoner before. That makes sense. I think I'm going to pop her into Lord this time. I think this is definitely a better cedar doll to me. Okay, then we have Hat-tastic Cerise, and this one is hard because I love everything about it except for the fact that she doesn't have, like, the hood and, like, the long cape like normal. Like, her capes are sometimes just kind of dress length, but she's got a very, very small cape and no hood, at least as far as I can tell in the stock photo. Like, I get that it's the Hat-tastic tea party, so she has the little hat instead. I understand that it's thematic, but I just feel like it kind of eliminates a very core element to her designs. I do love the shoes. I love the dress. The belt is really nice. I like everything else. That's just the only thing that's kind of keeping her down a bit for me. That being said, still amazing. So she's going to pop into Princess. Then we have Hat-tastic Maddie, and I like the color of her hair a lot less. I know I'm going to have to, like, zoom in really far, so I'm sorry. But on the Legacy Day, you can see that they're much deeper colors, and I think that that looks really, really good on her. I don't like this pastel sort of situation nearly as much. Also, I'm sorry, I know it's like really low quality. She came with a playset, so I had to zoom in on just the doll. The dress is fine, but yeah, I don't like the hair. I think she's going to go into Commoner. Then we have Mirror Beach Apple, and okay, I really don't like this line. I've talked about this so many times on this channel, and especially in the ranking videos, it always seems to come up. I don't at all really like pajama lines. I just prefer dolls to be in some sort of like thematic outfit that's like a costume sort of theme, or in an everyday sort of outfit in pajamas. I just don't really get. And a lot of the time I feel the same about swimwear dolls. Not as much. Like, I'm more likely to like a swim doll than a pajama doll, but I still don't love them because, like, if I was going to get an Apple White doll, I would 1,000 times rather have her in a ball gown than a swimsuit, you know? Like, it's just not what I want. And I really don't like the Ever After High swimwear dolls, especially. They all have these weird little, like, tutu looking things sewn on, and I just think it looks terrible. I think the bathing suit underneath that looks fine, and I actually like the fact that she's got kind of a collar going on. I think that's a very interesting way to kind of add a more fairy tale element to the swimwear. But this tutu looking nonsense, it's so icky. It's so out of place. I hate it. I hate it so much. Unfortunately, I think, no, I can't give it to her. She's got to go into Banished. I've liked every other Apple White doll, I think, but that one I really dislike. Mirror Beach Ashlyn is probably the worst offender to me. I have no words. I hate this. It's so icky. Again, the swimsuit underneath, that's pretty. I like the floral print. I like the little bit of ruffle on the sleeves. I think that's a nice touch. Her sunglasses are pretty darn cute. I just really, really hate this tutu. The way that it's sewn on, the band is so thick. And because of the scale of Ever After High dolls, it just looks like really thick. You know, like it doesn't look slightly bigger. It's like, that's a very big sewing line. And it's also just hitting in a very weird spot to me. I don't know. I feel like maybe if they had done kind of like a little bit of peplum on either hip but left the midsection like empty. I've seen that on swimsuits before, and I feel like that looks a lot better. This just looks terrible. Instead of looking like a princess at the beach, she looks like a child dressing up. And like, it's much cuter on children, you know, because like they're kids and they're having fun, and that's nice. I don't like this. She's also gonna go in Banished. I'm sure you guys never would have guessed. Okay, Mirror Beach Maddie. Same sort of complaints. I do think that her little skirt situation is better, just because I think the shape of it is less egregious to me. It looks slightly more like something that could maybe be swimwear. I don't like this necklace situation, though. That's weird. And again, her head looks enormous. Like, again, I know I'm zooming in. I get that Ashlyn's head was really big, okay? I get it. But I'm not the only one seeing this, right? Like, I can't be the only person who's seeing this. It's bad. Yeah, banished. I keep trying to find a redeeming point for them, but I just can't. Okay, then we are on to the Through the Woods line. So this is Ashlyn Ella. Very interesting to me because if I hadn't been told that without knowing anything about Ever After High, I don't think I would have guessed that just because the colors are a lot more saturated. I feel like her other dolls that we've seen thus far in the ranking, they've been like more pastel. And this is very, very, like, bright colors. That being said, I do think that it's pretty cute. I'm obsessed with this little lantern that she's holding. Oh my god, it's so cute. I love that. I actually really do like the pattern on the dress. I just think that it's very interesting. It's kind of woodsy, but very abstract. I'm into it. And the hood is super precious. Like, we have the little floral print on there, the bow tying it together. This is adorable. The only thing that I don't like is the shoes, just because I think they're the wrong color. I feel like they would have been better as a gold to pull in more of those gold accents, or even as kind of a translucent pink, because there's a lot of pink going on. I just think the green kind of comes out of nowhere, and it doesn't even actually match the green on the lamp. So even if it were paler like that, I think that would have been better. That's my only critique, though. I think she's still going to go into Princess, because that's cute. Then we have Blondie Locks from Through the Woods. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't figure out why I don't like the Blondie dolls as much. I've never been a fan of, like, the super yellowy blonde hair. So that's definitely part of it. But I also just don't get it. Again, her lantern is so cute. I love that. It's such a tiny, silly little accessory, but I think they're adorable. I think for me, I've said this in part 1, Blondie's outfits always feel really unbalanced because she has black shoes, but there's no black anywhere else on her design. And so it's just feeling really, really heavy at the bottom and, like, not super cohesive. But then it's made worse to me because the rest of her outfit is almost too cohesive. Like, the stockings and then the dress and the hood are all the same color, especially the dress and the hood. I know there's 2 different patterns going on there, but they blend together so much. And it could be one of those things where it's like, oh, well, it's a set, it goes together. I just think that with the boots being such a different color, instead of it looking like she's trying to be, like, matchy-matchy in a cute way, it just looks discombobulated to me and unbalanced. I understand that is very specific, but I don't love it. I think she's going to go into commoner because, honestly, the only thing she needed to do was change her boot color, but that was enough to ruin it for me. Okay, then we have Cupid from Through the Woods. I don't like this one as much. I think Through the Woods, the other 2 felt more on theme with that, with, like, the hoods, the lanterns, and I get that Cupid has a lantern, but what's throwing me off is literally everything else about her outfit. The beret and, like, this little, I don't know what you would call it, it's like a bolero. The little jacket sort of situation she's got going on feel too prim and proper to me to be going through the woods. Like, she just feels too fancy. She feels too dressed up. The binoculars don't feel like they're useful. They feel like they're, like, an accessory, you know? Like, it doesn't feel as though she has binoculars because she's going to use them to help them get through the woods, and it's, like, an adventure situation. It looks like she's like, oh, we're dressing up for a theme party. I might as well bring my binoculars. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Which I feel like is probably unpopular. I think that Cupid might be one of the more popular characters in Ever After High. But I don't like that. At least for the theme. I feel like I wouldn't hate it so much if it were for a different theme, but for Through the Woods, yeah, no, that's going in peasant. I'm sorry. It's just, it doesn't fit with the theme to me. Okay, then we have Through the Woods, Poppy, and I just don't love it. She's got the same little beret situation going on. It feels very unserious to me. The hoods feel like an adventure. The berets feel like a party costume. Her hair is more uneven this time, and while a lot of the time I am all here for, like, strange and unusual hair choices and asymmetry and stuff like that, it just looks very off to me. I don't know. I don't know what's different. I'm sorry. I do like the pattern of her dress. I think that's really, really pretty. Hate the leggings. Like, the dress with the leggings is a trend that I don't love. Yeah, I'm not feeling super I think the dress is the only thing preventing her from being banished, so she's gonna go into peasant. Oh god, okay. I need to prepare myself for this, okay? This one hit me like a freight train when I saw this on the list. So this is Date Night Dexter. And I complained a lot about Dexter in part 1, his like core doll. This is even worse. The hair looks atrocious. I'm sure that you could fix that if you bought this doll and like restyled it. But it looks atrocious. I don't mind the whole like glasses thing. I feel like there are a lot of people out there who really hate glasses on dolls. And I'm simply not one of them because I have to wear glasses. So I kind of love it. But everything else about him is heinous to me. This blazer over the V-neck t-shirt with the shorts and the shoes. And this is what you're wearing on a date? No. No. He looks like a 12-year-old boy who is going on his first, like, date, but he's supervised literally the entire time with his mom. It looks awful, and he is banished. Now, this was a 2-pack, so it was Date Night Dexter with Raven, and I was really hoping that Raven would, like, pull it together and be better, and she is, but not enough. Like, I just don't like it. I just don't like it at all. I think part of the problem for me is that with a theme like Ever After High being fairy tale centric, I like the designs that lean more into that. I like the fancy ball gowns and the poofy skirts and like the hoods and like, you know, the interesting stuff. And the everyday stuff just almost looks silly to me sometimes. That's definitely how I'm feeling about Raven. Yeah, the shoes are fine. The skirt and jacket are honestly very boring. The accessories are fine. I think the shirt is awful. I think a lot of that is the cut, but like, if Dexter looked like a 12-year-old boy on his first date, Raven doesn't look like his date. Raven looks like the mom chaperoning him. It's just very mom. And I don't understand the guitar purse. I could be totally off base here because, again, I haven't seen the show. I don't know anything about these characters. So this might not be a fair critique. But none of Raven's other dolls have had any, like, music theme elements. Like, there's been no other connection to music for Raven. So to throw in a guitar bag feels weird. Like, if you have Operetta from Monster High and she has musical instrument themes in her stuff, that makes sense. And even within Ever After High, you have Melody Piper. So that's, like, something that makes sense for her to have music-themed items. But I don't understand that for Raven. And again, maybe that's just something that I don't know about. But none of her other dolls have been very representative of someone who's like deeply into music enough to have a guitar bag. That was a very long-winded way of saying that I don't like this doll either. So she's going to go in peasant because she's a little better than Dexter, but not much. Okay, then we are getting into Spring Unsprung. So this is Kitty Cheshire. Fairly cute. I really violently dislike the leggings with these like twist shoes going over it. You can see so badly where the leggings end and it just looks awful to me. I think this doll would be infinitely better without the leggings. Kitty Cheshire herself is pretty darn cute. Like I said, there were some that I missed and her core doll was one of them. So that's coming up, I promise. Like, we're gonna get to her. I don't know, I think I don't like the pattern on the bottom of the dress, but everything else is pretty darn cute. She can go into Lord. I think that's fair. Because, like, the leggings you could just take off, you know? That's not a hard fix. It does need to be fixed, though. Then we have a Briar from Spring Unsprung. Maybe my favorite Briar. I think this one is really good. Again, I hate the leggings. I feel like this is just a product of its time. And it's awful. I like the shoes, though. I can't tell if this is a skirt and a shirt, but this layer that's like the black and white thorns, I think that's really lovely. I don't mind the big like mesh overlay in the back with the high-low. We talked about this in part 1. I don't think that high-low silhouettes are as terrible as some people make them out to be. I do like the hint of blue, like in her hair. I think that's nice. And I gotta say, all of the Spring Unsprung dolls have accessories like this, and I just really, really appreciate it, because I feel like on any other doll, and even on other Ever After High dolls, these flowers would just be solid pieces of plastic. You'd be lucky if you got the different shades of pink and the white. But with this line, they added this, like, extra layer. I don't know how they actually would have done it, so I don't want to, like, speculate on that. But you can see that they have, like, a black paint in the crevices of the flowers. and it just makes them look so much more alive, you know, not like necessarily super realistic, but it is so much more dimension and it looks absolutely amazing. So that's just something I need to shout out about the entire Spring Unsprung line. I think that that is really, really good. My only critique for her is that I'm assuming it's just something with the makeup and not the actual print, but her eyes look like super tiny. And again, maybe that's just like the really round head, but it doesn't look consistent with her other dolls to me. That's a nitpick though. This Briar is going to go into Princess, which might be the highest rated Briar we have. Okay, then we have Cedar. This is a really good one. I like this one a lot. She's super cute. Again, like see on the shoulder bits, that detailing, it just looks so, so nice. I love the wood print with the purple color. It's so pretty. And then like the floral underlay. Again, say it with me. I don't like the leggings. I don't want the leggings, but these shoes are incredible. Oh my gosh. And especially because she has such a cool sculpted facet to her skin. I think without the leggings, this would be such a sick design. She's going to go into Princess also. Okay, then we have Spring Unsprung Cerise, and I really don't know how to feel about this. Weirdly, I think the leggings look significantly better on hers. I like that a lot more. It just feels more cohesive and more like an actual design. Maybe it's part of the silhouette, because this looks almost more like a coat than a dress, so it's giving me less of the dress with leggings vibes and more of like leggings as pants vibes. I like that she still does have her hood. I don't get the one random streak of purple. I think that I could have done without that. Her headpiece is phenomenal. I love just the way that those red flowers pop amongst all of the black and white is so unbelievably pretty. But I hate the gingham. I don't get gingham from Cerise's other dolls. Like, she doesn't seem like a gingham type of girly. It just feels very sweet and very, like, picnicky and cute, and I don't feel like that's what I get from Cerise's other dolls. And unfortunately, the gingham is a very, very large part of this doll's design, which just, like, super sucks, because I feel like if this were another print, this would be potential queen material. But as it is, she's going to drop down to Lord, because I don't like the gingham. Okay, next up, still on the Spring Unsprung line, is Holly O'Hare. I don't know. I don't know what it is about the O'Hare sisters that I just feel like I have trouble connecting to. Again, I hate the leggings. That's consistent. I hate the leggings. There's nothing else really wrong with her outfit, but I just don't like it. Like, I don't have a reason, but I just don't like it. So she's going to go into Commoner, because it's, like, not objectively bad. It's just not for me. And then, lastly, I believe, from the Spring Unsprung line. Is that right? Hold on. I think so. I think this was, like, a playset, so it looks a little bit different. Lizzie Hearts can't even come close to comparing to her core doll, which I put in Queen. That was an amazing doll. And I actually looked her up online, because I was like, I really like that one. I might actually want to buy an Ever After High doll, and I was promptly humbled by the prices. So, there's that. Oh yeah, this Lizzie just does not look as good in any capacity. Peasant. Okay, then we have Just Sweet Blondie. I think she's the only one from the Just Sweet line that I have on here, so I'm hoping that I didn't miss anybody and this is just like a random one-off. I hate it. I'm so sorry. I know I'm biased because like it's Blondie and I haven't really loved most of her dolls, but I just think the color scheme is super, super weird. I think that like the tights just look a little bit uncanny, at least in this photo. The bottom of the dress is fine, but I hate the yellow and like the brown and bright red on the top of her dress because it's nowhere else. Like all of Blondie's dolls have such a problem to me with color balancing. It just looks strange. Plus, I've never been a huge fan of Sweets themed dolls, so like that also isn't helping. I just really dislike this, so I'm sorry, but she is banished. Oh god, okay. I know I already said this, but I prefaced in video 1, in part 1, that it was going to get worse, and I haven't even scratched like the tip of the iceberg of the badness that Ever After High got to like towards the end, and I'm already feeling exhausted by some of these dolls. So this is School Spirit Apple, and I just hate literally everything about it except the fabric on her skirt. That's pretty. I don't like the rest of the design. I guess her hair is fine and her face is fine. It's, you know, it's Apple. I know it's Ever After High. I know they go to a high school. Like, I get it. I don't want to see high school nonsense in my cute little fairy tale doll. I just don't. And she is going to go in banished. Don't worry, though, because School Spirit was, I believe, a 2-pack. And we have Raven, too, who is somehow even worse. I'm so upset. She doesn't even have, like, the redeeming fabric. I hate all of this. And I'm sad now. And she's going in banished. Okay, we're out of that now. We are on Enchanted Picnic. This is a simple blondie, but kind of a better one to me because we have multiple black elements, so it's not just randomly black shoes. Thank you. The black collar, I feel like, makes it look better. The brown bag is like the only brown element, but for some reason I feel like bags kind of have different rules in my head about what they can do. And it's a cute little bear. This is better. I still don't love it, but it's better. However, it is, like, still really simple, and I just am not upset. So I went on about how that's a better design, but I am going to put her in commoner, so is it really better? Then we have Enchanted Picnic Cerise, again with the gingham. I don't get it. I like the fact that she has the hood. I like the print on top of the gingham. I think that's nice, and I love her shoes. I feel like all of the Enchanted Picnic line, though, it just feels incomplete. Like, I feel like they're missing 2 accessories each. Yeah, I don't know. She's gonna go in commoner as well. Oof, no. Oh my god. Ugh. I said that Cerise was not a gingham girly. Raven Queen is not a gingham girly, at least in my mind. Again, I know I haven't seen the show, and I'm gonna zoom in really hard. Even pixelated. That's Raven Queen. This, disgusting. This is like when your teenage kid is like experimenting with fashion and they like emo stuff and goth and punk and, you know, like all of those kind of alternative subcultures that they're starting to encounter and experiment with fashion, and they want to dress in dark colors and have purple hair, and you tell them that they have to dress like in a cute little dress for Easter Sunday. I feel like that rant sounded too personal. But this is what that looks like. It's like, okay, the compromise is that she got to have it be in dark purple, but she's still wearing a cute little Sunday dress that does not fit her personality, and I hate every second of it, and she's going to be banished. Alright, here we go. Back to Kitty Cheshire. Now we're looking at her core doll. I think this one's better than the Spring and Sprung one for sure. I love the Cheshire Cat with like the smile on her bag and also in her headband. I think that is just awesome. Hate that she doesn't have molded on cat ears. She's a cat. She should have molded on cat ears. I hate that, but everything else I think is really nice. The outfit, it's not like spectacular, but it's pretty cute. I do like the tights for her with the chevron. I think that's really fun. And the boots, I think, go really well. Those aren't boots. Shoes. We're just going to say shoes. Anyway, she gets to go in princess. She's cute. Okay, another one that I missed is Gingerbread House, her core doll. And I just don't like it. I don't know. I talked about this, and I think when I was roasting my worst ever after high dolls, that was a very long time ago. But I get what they're going for, and I think with a gingerbread house themed doll, you can get away with doing a lot of different colors and patterns and making it look okay, because I feel like that eclectic vibe fits in very well with the Sweets themed doll. But I hate the black. Her little jacket makes no sense at all. It's got like this weird, not quite coattail, it just has like a piece of fabric on the back that you can kind of see here. Excuse me, I hiccuped. That is just like yellow mesh for no reason, and her bag is black, and it just looks bad. I just don't like it. She's going to go into peasant, because I do think that if you take those elements off, she's still not for me, but she is very thematic, so like she gets a little bit of points for that. Okay. I think this is the last one that I forgot in part 1. This is Duchess Swan's core doll, and I feel like I've seen people saying good things about this doll on the internet before. She's okay. I like her hairstyle. I think that's fun. I wish we had a little bit more painted detail on the headpiece, because I think that would really make it pop, but it's fine. I want to say she's from Swan Lake, right? I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. But she kind of looks like she's supposed to be giving ballerina vibes. I like the shoes. I think I just wish that her skirt had more of a flare to it. I don't know. She still gets to go in Lord. I think it's a solid design. I'm not sure what's holding her back from me, but she is being held back. Next up, we are getting into the sugar-coated line. This is Cedar Woods, and I know I said earlier that I'm not a super big fan of, like, sweets-themed dolls. That holds true here. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with her design. I just don't like it. Like, it's just a me problem. This is nothing about her. I just don't like it. It's going in peasant. Holly. Somehow even worse. Sweets themed, but like not in as exciting a way as Cedar was. The dark makeup really doesn't match the outfit to me. The oven, the oven's kind of funny, but like I also hate it. She's gonna be banished. Okay, Maddie. This one really bothers me for a very specific reason. I feel like she looks like she is like on a paper and like a printout, right? And it started printing up top. And she's got, like, good saturation. The ink is going well here. Her hair is saturated. Her face, her accessories. And then we just slowly run out of ink. Like, she has so much more saturation and so much more brightness in the colors in her hair and, like, the top of her outfit. And then the bottom of her outfit looks less. And then her shoes are just super washed out and weird. It looks strange. I don't like it. She's banished. Okay, and then this is the gingerbread house from this sugar-coated line. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, in some ways I like her more, and in some ways I like her less. I think her color scheme is a lot more cohesive in this one. I think that in general she looks really good, but it looks like everything on her dress is just printed on. And she did come with a playset, so that's probably why, like, the budget probably went to the playset. But it just bothers me because I feel like if this was a, like, higher quality of production in this dress, this would have been a better core look for her than her core look. As it is, she's still going in peasant. Alrighty, we are on Way to Wonderland. So this should be Maddie's line. She should be thriving and shining here. And, like, I'm kind of underwhelmed, if I'm being honest. I think part of it is the stock photo. I don't know if this is actually how this, like, coat dress situation lays. But it looks like she's got, you know, one panel on this side and one panel on this side and just nothing in the back. At least in the stock photo. And I think that's very distracting to me. Because, like, we're going to get into the other dolls from this line, and they look more extravagant than Maddie. But this feels like it's Maddie's time to shine, you know, it's Wonderland. Like, this is where she should be at her best. I don't know. And I think because of that, like, the shoes and the tights almost feel weirdly boring. I love the hat. That's a good one. They did well with that. But then the makeup, too, I don't know. I feel like the other characters look more Wonderland because when you compare them to their, like, base dolls, it's such a striking difference. But because Maddie already has kind of that Wonderland eclectic style, the elevation just doesn't feel like it bumped her up as much as it needed to. I hope that makes sense. She's going to go into Commoner. I feel like Maddie needed so much more, and she only got a little bit more. Then we have the 17-inch Maddie Hatter that also, I think, was a part of the Way to Wonderland line. And this is, to me, just a worse version of her core doll. Like, it could just be that the stock photo is not good, okay? Like, I will give it that. It might just be the stock photo. But the biggest thing to me is that her hair looks so lifeless. Like, I keep having to zoom in. Even the other Way to Wonderland Maddie, her hair is bouncy and beautiful, and her curls look lively and healthy. And this doesn't look like that. This looks like she hasn't washed her hair in a very long time and hasn't tried to take care of her curls in a very long time. And it just kind of looks sad. I mean, I guess the outfit's fine. It's close to her core outfit, so she gets to go into peasant. Okay, then we have Apple from Way to Wonderland. So this is what I meant by some of the characters look so much more Wonderland because they look way, like, more different than their normal designs. She's got a lot of patterns. She's got a lot of volume in this dress. And then also the volume at the top with the bow and the crown. However, I understand that this is everything that I think the Way to Wonderland line should be. And this executes everything very well that I didn't like about Maddie. But also, I just don't love it on Apple. I don't know. I'm very contradictory and indecisive, and I'm sorry, because I feel like this ranking isn't going to make any sense, and it's going to be absolutely infuriating to Ever After High fans. It's a good, quality-looking design. I just don't like it. She's going to get to go into Lord because I do think it's better than Maddie's. Okay, Courtly Jester. I like the idea for this doll. I don't like the plastic bit around her waist. I think that looks very chunky and just it doesn't look like it fits well. Like the other plastic accessories, like the one around her neck, that makes sense because like how else would you execute that realistically on a playline level? And I think that one looks fine, but I just really, this one does not look good because it looks like it should be a layer of her skirt. No, I hate that. And most of all, I hate her face. I have no idea who Courtly Jester is within the world of Ever After High. I don't know if she is a villain, but she looks evil. It's bad. It's bad. And, like, villain dolls can be very pretty, but I don't like that one. Peasant. Alrighty, Kitty Cheshire. This one's so hard for me. I love so many elements, but, like, also I don't. I love the big ears. Again, I wish she had molded on ears, but I love the big ears. She got a tail, so that's super cool. The lime green, weirdly, I kind of think works. Like, it's strange. It's not, like, an everyday color combination that I would think of. But for Wonderland, I think that it's perfect. I like that addition in her hair. I like the fur collar. I don't love the color on this skirt because she's got some pink elements at like the cuffs of her gloves and then also on her shoes. But then on the dress, this reads more orange to me, and I think that's one too many bright colors. I think that if that were more of a pink instead of an orange, I would be obsessed with her. She gets to go into Lord. Okay, then we have Lizzie, and again, like, this is a good design objectively. Like, the cards as kind of a collar sort of situation, the flamingo and the crown, the cards on the dress. Everything about this is so wonderful, but I hate the colors so much. And part of this is probably just because I really like the core Lizzie Hart's doll. Like, I just think that is absolute perfection. So seeing her with these colors, I just don't like it as much. I know I'm being really picky, but I just don't like it as much. I'm gonna go ahead and pop her into Lord as well. Okay, we are getting towards the end there. We are almost there. We have Briar from Way to Wonderland. We've lost all of Briar's color scheme completely. So, I mean, the thing that I don't like about her isn't there. However, she doesn't look like Briar anymore. I had to double check like 3 times to make sure I was reading that right, and this is actually Briar. I like the idea of like I think they're meant to be like branches of thorns kind of curling around her as a collar. I like that concept. But I would not have believed you if you told me this was Briar. Like, it doesn't look like her. I just don't get it. She's gonna be in Banished. Okay, then we have Raven, who came with a playset, so I had to zoom in on her. So she's a little bit blurry, but honestly, thank goodness for that, because I don't think that I could handle having to see this in full HD quality. I hate it. I hate everything about it. I don't like the colors. It doesn't feel like Raven. It doesn't feel edgy. It's not even close to as detailed as the other ones. No, absolutely not. Banished. Alright, last 3, all from the same line. So we have Ferris on Ice, Ashlyn. I feel like I should like this more than I do. Like, I love transparent elements. I love the pastels. Her hair is really beautiful, and I'm obsessed with this headpiece. But I don't know. There's just something about it that's kind of missing to me. She's still good. I think she'll go into Lord. Okay, and then Duchess. I do think that Duchess looks really good. Her skates are phenomenal. It's kind of hard to tell in this photo, but they have, like, feather, carving sculpted in, so it looks like little like swan feathers. I think that's really pretty. I think the colors are lovely on her, and like the darkness of her hair is a really beautiful contrast. She's almost got kind of an armor piece up top that I think is gorgeous. She's gonna go into Princess. And then lastly we have Poppy, whose hair asymmetry has only gotten weirder and worse in my opinion. The colors are okay, I just don't think they match with her. I like the skates, but overall I'm not impressed. Peasant. I can't, like, find the corners of these today. I keep trying to shrink them down and I just end up moving them. So that brings us to the end of the video for today. This is the final ranking of parts 1 and 2. You can definitely see here how it's kind of started skewing, because at the end of part 1 we were pretty even all the way down. Like, we had some dolls in every tier, and like more so towards the middle, like maybe a little bit to the top, and now we are a lot more in negative. We're still like mostly in the middle here, but there's a lot more in Banished, and I didn't put a single doll in Queen this video, which is not good, because there's only like 1, maybe 2 other dolls that I can think of offhand that are going to be coming in future videos that are going to Queen. So that doesn't bode well for the rest of the rankings. I do feel kind of bad, because I feel like this is probably a harder video to watch than part 1 was for any Ever After High fans, but this is where I've ranked them, and I'm sticking to it. So yes, that was going to be it for today. I would love to hear your thoughts on the dolls that I ranked in the comments down below. If I did happen to miss one that's like from one of the lines that I mentioned and I just didn't include it, please let me know again. There were some of you in the comments of the last video pointing out dolls that I missed, and that was super, super helpful. I tried to be really careful and not miss any, but like, it's hard for me to know given that I wasn't an Ever After High fan, so like, I don't kind of have the knowledge in my head of what dolls I should be looking out for. So I would love to know if I did miss any. Thank you to those people who did point out last time. And yeah, I would just like to know whether you agree with my assessments of these dolls, or even if you disagree, if you can like understand where I'm coming from, or if you just think that I'm completely wrong. Let's just talk about it in the comments. But yeah, I hope you guys could find some enjoyment in the video today, even if you did disagree with me. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys!